Good morning. Welcome back. Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone doing? New week. New week, new opportunities, and another Celsius. Not bad. Good morning, everyone. Alrighty. Yeah, F1 was awesome this weekend. What a race. Good weekend. A lot of fun. A lot of racing. Good time in Miami, as always. So, yeah, good weekend. Hope everyone had a good weekend as well. Claus. If I'm going to drink something, it's going to be a nooner. A little high noon. We actually put high noons in Celsius cans for the race. Yeah, good race for Alonso, though. Tesla already filling its gap. Yeah, we swung some Tesla calls over the weekend with the group. So those are opening up pretty nice today. All right. Well, Monday, May 8th. Welcome back, everyone. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Time to make the donuts, as J Boy said in the chat. That's something my father always says growing up. Time to make the donuts. So let's get it. Grape Celsius. Grape Celsius is good. I actually tried it this weekend. It's very good. I'm stuck on the wild berry, but grape's pretty good too. All right. Monday, May 8th. Big week. Let's kill it. Let's make it a good week. Let's learn from our mistakes last week. Let's continue to compile our education, our experience. Let's continue to do what we do. That's right. That's what we got to do. Grateful. Let's put in the work. Exactly. Let's put in the work again. So today, futures as always, economic earnings calendar. Let's go ahead and pop up that economic calendar. Let's get a fresh look at the economic calendar this week. What's the ad today? Oh, pretty on par. Rolexes. All right. Monday, May 8th. Wholesale inventories. Chicago Fed President Goolsbee and Fed Senior Loan Survey. I don't think anything really here to worry about today on the economic side. So really nothing there. Tomorrow, nothing really either. This is going to be important. Wednesday, right? Core CPI year over year. Core CPI year over year. That's going to be very important. Consumer Price Index, 8:30. Wednesday, that's really the start of your economic week. Monday, Tuesday, I'd say is pretty much nothing important. Wednesday is where it gets interesting. Thursday, PPI and jobless claims, interesting again. And then we close the week with import price index, consumer sentiment, and Bullard at 7:45 p.m., which means nothing to us. So this week, Wednesday, Thursday. All right, Wednesday, Thursday, CPI, PPI, that's going to be the big stuff. Monday, Tuesday, really nothing. Friday, really nothing. I would assume this is where you get most of the volatility. Wednesday and Thursday of this week. All right, so make sure to keep that in mind as we approach this week. CPI, PPI this week. All right, so that's the economic. Let's pull up the old earnings calendar. Let's see what we got over there. I haven't even looked at it this week yet, so you're going to be looking at it fresh with me right now. So let's zoom on in. That's too much. All right, there we go. Tyson food this morning. I think it's down. I don't know who eats frozen Tyson food anymore, but hopefully you don't. PayPal, Palantir, really nothing. Some, old names that were important. What the hell? At one time, really nothing I'm watching there. Fisker, Nikola, I don't think that's a different AMC. Really nothing there either. Airbnb, Rivian, Oxy, Twilio, Affirm, Upstart, right? Celsius. Hey, Celsius. At one time, these were all stocks that people were really watching. This is back in 2021 when these stocks just went higher every day, but really not that interested in Affirm, Upstart. I call it Upshart. So really nothing going on over here. Twilio maybe, Oxy maybe for energy. Airbnb, I know some people still watch that one, but really nothing that interesting here. Maybe Airbnb. Roblox, Wendy's. I don't know what the hell that is. Can't read that. Disney could be a good one to watch. Disney for streaming. We can watch Netflix off that. Streaming, seeing how their streaming is on Disney. Something to watch there. Nothing that big here. Trade Desk, Beyond Meat, Robinhood, nothing I really care about. JD, Fiverr, Krispy Kreme, Yeti, nothing that important in my eyes. Yeah, I mean, a pretty sort of the back burner names here. Nothing that I'm really going to be trading, but Airbnb, Disney are probably the two standouts this week. So nothing crazy on the earnings side. Some names, but nothing that's going to really influence the market, in my opinion. No like big tech names that are going to move the Nasdaq with any type of strong momentum. So I'm not too worried about any of these, but you could watch some. Airbnb, Disney, I'd say, are the most interesting. All right. Tesla inverse head and shoulder. Gorgeous, man. Absolutely gorgeous. Yes, I remember. I remember, Chef. Oh, I remember. You killed it on Upstart. Trust me, I remember that. Tesla inverse head and shoulder. What a setup. So this was back on May 2nd. I posted this on my Twitter. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, if you want to get away from all the ridiculousness that is on Twitter and just sort of focus on some real charts, real technicals, I recommend you following me. Desi_trade. Posted this. This was a beautiful inverse head and shoulder. Really worked out, right? That was the tweet on May 2nd. And then here's now, right? So this was a gorgeous little inverse head and shoulder on Tesla. Once we got over that 166, nice upside. So that inverse head and shoulder worked out pretty well. So in some calls right now, swung those over the weekend with the group. Posted that in the Desi Swing section. Held some May 12th 175s over the weekend. Those are up probably over 100% this morning. So very nice. We'll take a look at that one. Microsoft, big breakout over 308, 309. Watching for a retest today. This one could be very interesting. Meta, and a little bit of a downtrend right now, but a really big level held on Friday. So watching this Meta, could be some action on that one today. Nvidia, big flag breakout on Friday. Closed my put positions. I was sort of scaling out as the week went on, and then I took a loss on my last few runners on Friday. So happy I closed out of that position. Made back that loss with that Tesla 166. I have that trade recorded live from Friday. I just haven't had the chance to really post it. So probably will post that trade today or tomorrow. I might even make a video today and tomorrow just to catch up because I didn't post a video on Thursday. I was getting ready for the weekend, F1 weekend, and I had a lot of people here, so I didn't want to just be like, hey, guys, I got to go back home and make a video. So I figured take the day off on Thursday, but we'll catch back up. Got some really nice live trades to share on Tesla. Also, that JPM gap fill that we talked about. That was a beautiful trade. Got that live as well. So got some live trades queued to share with you guys. Excited to share those. But that Nvidia flag breakout was pretty intense. Let's watch that today. AMD 9150, Apple weekly supply, and then TSM. This TSM is still setting up. I am definitely keeping an eye on this. I'm probably going to throw a few $100 at it and just sort of forget about it because I do like this setup still. And if we get some semiconductor strength, which we saw Nvidia, we saw AMD, if TSM gets some heat on the semis, I'm definitely watching for this area to hold. So big TSM watch for a longer term trade as well. All right. So that's what we're going to look at. We'll look at a few other names, of course. We'll sprinkle some more stuff in there, but let's go ahead and get started. So Nasdaq futures, big move on Friday, right? We sort of broke this flag we were talking about. We had this little like downtrending, this little downtrend that was sort of holding up at this demand down here around this 13,000. Really nice 13,000 hold on Friday or on Thursday. You can see right here. This was honestly just a beautiful break and retest of this previous high. You guys can see previous highs here. Break, retest, strong demand hold, and then a big pop off that. That was a pretty nice move on Friday. So where are we at now? We are at the major April high. If we go to the 4-hour chart, look at this 4-hour chart, right? 4-hour chart on the NQ. We are sitting right at that April high once again. We got a pop, we got a rejection, we got a hold again of the demand down here, and we got a pop once again right back into that 13,350 demand on the Nasdaq. So a little bit difficult to formulate a long entry here, obviously, because we are at supply, right? No one wants to be long here. I think people that were long on Friday made a killing, right? So, for example, swinging Tesla over the weekend, anyone that was longing towards that 13K obviously are sitting in a good position. But now I think late long entries are a little bit more concerning, right? We still have to respect. We can't just not respect this supply. So this 13,350 still here. This is definitely still important. And you can see after tapping that level on Friday, we sort of slowed down, right? The momentum slowed down after tapping that supply. So the real long entry, the strong long entry where I would get aggressive on is a break and hold above here, obviously, right? You guys know that, right? So you guys can see a break and hold above this previous high, that April high of 13,350. That would definitely set up some long interest for me. That is something I will be watching today to see if we get. If we get that break over 13,350, if we start to turn that into a hold, that could be a very interesting setup. On a pullback today, I do like a pullback towards this 280, right? I don't mind a little pullback entry for longs off this area right here, off these previous highs right here, right? That is FOMC highs. So a little pullback entry off of FOMC highs could be interesting, right? If we get a little retest of that FOMC high right here on Wednesday and we hold that, that could be a nice potential long entry back here at 13,280. If we go further, if we break under that 13,280, I do not mind a long entry at 13,240 as well. All right, you guys can see right here, 13,240, 13,240. And on Friday, if I go to the 15 minute, let me go 5 minute. Look at this. I mean, this was just textbook stuff right here. Look at this Nasdaq from Friday. We got a break of that 13,240. That was our previous supply. We had a rejection of it, but we had a big break. Right? Big break, 13,240, back into 13,280. We had a nice little consolidation, right? An acceptance of price above that 13,240, right? So you can see we pulled back. Look at all that demand that stepped in on Friday afternoon. That was perfect. And then look at the end of day move. So I'm looking for today. If I don't want to long here, right, at this 13,350, which I really don't, right? I'm not going to try to guess a breakout. I want to see either this, right? Or I want to see this. And then I would be interested in longs here, and I would be interested in longs here. That's the only really place I like a long potential entry today. On a pullback to 13,280, a pullback to 13,240. I really don't want to be a long player, right, into this supply. That doesn't really fit comfortable for me. The other long entry that I'd consider is a break and hold above, right? So those are really the three long entries that I would look for today. I'd look for a break and hold above 350, a pullback to 280, or a pullback to 240. These are sort of the long entries that I would look for. All right? So that's the long side that I'm, interested in. If we push back into, right? If we push back into 13,350 today and we start to look for if we start to see some weakness, right, you could look for that supply rejection, right? You could look for that supply rejection to the downside. If we break under this 280 and look and see rejections here, maybe you can try to get 40 points on the Nasdaq back into 240, right? So you could look for supply rejections up at that major supply 350. You could look for a break and retest of this previous high around 280. But I think the real short entry, the one that I'd actually be comfortable with after seeing this big pop on Friday, I'd want to see the Nasdaq back under 240 before I really try to short this market with any type of real conviction. So if I go back to the 30 minute, you could try you could definitely try this supply rejection, right? That's a very viable setup. I would rather be a short player right here, right? Right here is where I'd feel more confident on the short side. If we got back below this, got back below that 240, got back below these highs here, I'd be more interested in that short side, maybe back into like this low around this 160, 170, right? Back into this area right here where we had previous lows, and previous highs. So on the short side, I think the momentum swing sort of starts at 13,240. I think if you're above 13,240, I'd be careful on the short side. I think that could just be a pullback for more longs. If we fall back below this 240, then I think that momentum shifts a little bit. So that's sort of my analysis right now on the Nasdaq. I will not, as I approach this morning, I am not interested in longs near open, right? I am not. Now, the reason for this is because I do not want to long into a April monthly high, right? I'm not going to long into an April monthly high. Doesn't make sense. I have to accept, I caught this, so I'm happy that I did. But if you did not catch this Friday move, you have to accept that you missed the upside, and you can't just come into today and hope and pray that we break this 13,350. That is not going to end well for you. So I am coming into today cautious on the long side because of the fact that we're right under 13,350. If we get pullbacks, it will spark my interest. 280, 240, right? It will spark my interest for a dip buy. If we get under 240, right, that will spark my interest for potentially more downside. That's sort of how I'm approaching today on the Nasdaq. All right? Hopefully that makes sense. If you want these technical levels in a text format, you can either screenshot this, rewatch the live stream, or you can go to the chart Discord where I post these levels every day. All right? Hourly chart on the ES. So this is pretty interesting on the ES. ES is sitting at a pretty major level here. So here's the ES, right? And I know there's a lot of areas here, but these are all very important. So these areas, even though this looks a little bit like a guitar, someone has told me this looks like guitar strings, but these are definitely important levels that need to be on your screen. The reason I keep these on the screen like this, for anyone that's interested, is because when I'm watching the market on like the 5-minute intraday, if I'm sort of looking at it like this, and I don't, maybe I don't see, let's say for example, my chart looks like this. It doesn't look like this, but let's just say that this green zone is out of my scale, right? If I start seeing the market trade down, I need to know that we are approaching a demand, right? So if I'm watching this on, let's say the 2-minute chart, which is where I usually watch, I watch both, but if I have a short-term watch on the ES, if I'm watching the 2-minute chart like this, and I start seeing the market trade lower, I need to know when the market starts to approach a demand, right? I need these levels on my screen, right? So yeah, maybe it looks a little bit messy here on the 30, but I need to keep these on my screen because I need to know when this market trades down into these levels. So today, right, 4160, big level, 4160, right? Look at this hourly chart. Hourly chart on the ES, 4160, 4160, FOMC high, let's keep that in mind, FOMC high 4160, and then we had a Friday high of 4160. So 4160 has to be on your screen this morning. We have to see what happens at 4160. If we turn 4160 into support today, I believe that will lead to further upside. All right, if you turn 4160 into support today, that should lead to further upside. That is a break and hold above this high, above FOMC highs, and above Friday highs. So if we see a nice hold above 4160 today, I think you could possibly see that upside continuation. Now, if you see rejections at 4160, I believe you could see that downside back into 4135. 4135 is these lows here, it's this low here, it's these double bottom lows here, and it's this hold from Friday, right? And this is the same as the Nasdaq. Look at this 5-minute chart. Look at this hold at 4135 on Friday, right? Break and hold, and then the upside continuation. 4135, it's not a coincidence that we held that level intraday Friday, right? Friday, we had a break above this double bottom low, a hold above it, a break above this low here, a hold above it, a break above this low here, and a hold above it. So 41.35 to me is a potential pullback long entry, right? If we get that pullback to 41.35, I would look for this to hold and potentially push higher once again. So 41.60, 41.35, right? Those are really the levels that I'd focus on today. If you do get further pullbacks, I'd watch this 41.10, 41.20 zone. But 41.35 and 41.60 are going to be your immediate watches today. If you get a hold above 41.60, I'd look for upside continuation. If you get a rejection of 41.60, I'd look for moving to 41.35. All right? SPY, 414. SPY 414. Very important here. Very similar to 41.60 on the ES, right? 414, 414, 414, and 414. All right? Very clear. SPY 414. Be careful longing into 414, right? Are you wanting to go long into this rejection? Are you wanting to go long into this Wednesday FOMC high rejection? Do you want to go long into this Thursday high rejection? Do you want to go long into all these rejections over here? No, you do not. Trust me. You don't need that. You don't need to sweat, right? Don't try to long into these levels and hope and pray. Just wait for it to break. Wait for it to hold. Wait for it to confirm. All right, so if we get a break of 414, look for that level to turn into a nice demand, and that can lead to your upside. That is the same exact concept as 41.60 on the ES, right? It's the same exact concept. 41.60 on the ES and 414 on the SPY are probably the two major levels that I would be watching today. All right? 414 SPY, 41.60 ES. If you can hold above 414, then I think you get upside continuation. If you start to see rejections here, it is very possible to see a pullback, right? So if we get that rejection again at 414, I would probably look for that pullback to 4010. 4010, right? That level comes back into play. If we get a pullback, I would look for that 4010 hold, right? And if you look at the 5-minute chart on SPY on Friday, what happened at 4010? Right? I don't just joke about this level for no reason. This is a big level, and I want you to make sure that you remember 4010. Look at this. Look at this. Break, retest, bull flag, right into our 4010. Bam, right? Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. That is textbook price action. You do not need anything. You don't need anything besides an understanding of levels, and maybe you know a bull flag. That's about all you needed to know here. You don't need the MACD. You don't need the RSI. You don't need the algorithmic chat GPT. I made $10,000 because chat GPT made me a strategy, and I sit on my ass and I make money because AI trades for me. No, you don't need any of that BS. All you need to know is your levels. And you can see how perfect a break and retest of 4010 was on Friday. Gorgeous, gorgeous move. And that's simply just knowing your levels, right? So 414 today, watch supply. If you get a pullback to 410, beautiful, right? Watch for that. All right? Awesome stuff. Really clean move on Friday. So 414, 410, SPY levels, watch it. All right? What else? Dow Jones. Mike Jones. Who? Who pissed Vince off? Who pissed me off is the videos I see on YouTube about trading with ChatGPT. That's what pisses me off, to be honest. But I digress. That's not why we're here. It's okay. Let them do that. So Dow Jones. Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. Sort of messy. Really don't like much on the Dow here. You're still just sort of chilling under this supply. I really don't love anything here. Yeah. Just watch out for this supply on the Umar. Hey, what's up, Umar? I don't know if I'm supposed to be getting back to you, Umar, or if I'm waiting for your text, but I'm sorry if I haven't reached out yet. I've been so busy. Umar, the GOAT. Everyone say GG to Umar. Great guy. And obviously, everyone knows the GOAT. So, rejection, right? Dow Jones, rejection. Watch this supply up here, right? Watch this supply up here, all right? 34,400, 34,600. I would just sort of monitor the Dow because of banks, right? See what Goldman Sachs does, see what the banks do, see how the Dow reacts off that. But I'm not really fond of where this is trading. All right. Russell. Let's go Russell. Russell, again, I mean, this is crazy, right? Everyone thought, my bad, Umar. I'll get to you today, man. I'm sorry. Russell, right? Demand. Everyone thought Russell was going to slip here. Everyone thought, right, Russell was going to die, including myself, right? I thought it was pretty weak myself. But this just shows you again, right? This is a great example of demand holding even when it was going to look like it was going to die off, right? Perfect demand hold again on the Russell. You can see here at 1730, really nice hold, really nice hold, really nice hold. Once again, the Russell holds. So Russell demand, again, right? What do I say about these channels? If you missed this long, you are no longer going to enter this position, right? This is that 50% retracement of a channel that you have no idea what's going to happen, right? You are at the 50% mark of this channel, and if you start to trade here, you are sort of, as Elite says, you are diddling in the middle. There is no business diddling in the middle of a channel, right? You diddle here and you diddle here, right? Let me make these gold. This is something I very much stand by. You trade here and you trade here. You do not start to trade here, right? If you caught demand, great trade. If you catch supply, great trade. If you start to F around in the middle of these channels, you are asking to get just, you're asking to just get, you're just guessing, right? So we have to trust the demand, we have to trust the supply, and we can't mess around when these stocks or indices are in the middle of a channel, right? So that very important there. All right, so ES, right? ES 4160 today, very big. SPY 414, very big, right? And then Nasdaq, we have to understand as we approach today that we are sitting at a 4-hour April high. So sure, right? Sure, market looks strong here. Sure, the vibe from Friday is like, oh, let's move higher. But, right, that vibe's not going to get you anywhere if we just do another supply rejection, right, at 13,350. So watch out for that. You need confirmation above this level for that upside continuation, right? You need a confirmation above this level for upside continuation. All right? Tesla, awesome move on Tesla, man. What a move. So Friday, this was the trade I took on Friday, and it was too perfect. I had to take it. I was in the group, we were trading. I said, this is just too perfect. I have to take this trade. Even if I lose on this, it's just it aligns too much with my strategy. And you can see right here, look at this hold above 166 all afternoon, really all morning on Tesla, right? Break over 166 and look at all this here, right? This is gorgeous. It was a little bit, I'm not going to lie, right? It was a little bit shaky, right? It was a little bit emotional, right? It was like back and forth, right? Up and down, right at 166. But this is a great example, which I'll make a video about this live trade. I have this whole trade recorded live. This is a great example of you having to trust your strategy, because during this time, there was many times in my head where I said, maybe I should just get out of this trade, right? I don't really like what this is doing. I'm a little bit nervous, right? I'm not going to lie, right? Everyone gets a little nervous. I'm a little bit uneasy, right? I don't know if I want to be in this trade. I'm a little bit worried about Tesla just dying under this 166. Let me make sure to protect myself. Now, I did protect myself by sort of being in a comfortable position, but this 166 was just too good of a hold, and I just had to hold on to it, right? It was too good. Eventually, we got the move we were waiting for, right? Eventually, we got that rally. We got the push off 166, and I'm very happy I stayed patient. Took a swing into this week, right? I had about $900 worth of profits by the end of the day, and I took a swing, a May 12th 175 call because of that 166 hold on Tesla, right? And then you can see, bam, 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 bam. Beautiful. So in some 175s? 175s. Yep, 175s. And I am looking for upside continuation here on Tesla off those 175. So we'll see. But either way, inverse head and shoulder played out beautifully. And this is the inverse head and shoulder that sort of played out here. Let me zoom in here. Inverse head and shoulder. You guys can see left shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? Pretty extended right shoulder, but sometimes it be like that. And then you guys can see right there, right? Left shoulder, right shoulder, and that inverse head and shoulder bottoming formation. Very nice upside. And I think everyone was sort of aware of this low volume area here on the 4 hour, on the hourly. So today, I think we watched this little wick low. Let me go back to the hourly chart. Let me go to get 90 days here. Let me zoom out. I think we sort of watched this wick low here, right? Right here. This wick low, this 176, I think we watch out for that. I would probably be a profit taker, right, at that level. If you have multiple call contracts, take some off, take some profits. If you want to look for more upside continuation, make sure it's what money you can afford to lose. Don't get too greedy here. You should be up at least 100% into today if we open up here. So just watch out for 176 today. That's going to be your big level to watch. This wick low right here. And yes, Carmine, if you're watching, you owe me a red Tesla. I already called him on Friday about it. All right, Microsoft. We finally got the break, right? We've been watching this thing every single day in the live stream. We said, watch Microsoft on this breakout. There's going to be a move here, right? This consolidation was tight. There's always a move after a consolidation like this. This demand held very nicely. Bam, big breakout. Nice hold over that 309 high intraday on Friday, right? You guys can see that right there. And we got that upside continuation. Now we're getting a pullback. This is what you want to see, right? This is the pullback you want on Microsoft. You want to see if this dollar range right here holds up, right? If this dollar range becomes a break and retest, and if we turn this previous channel high into a strong demand, right, this could be a fantastic pullback long entry. So I will absolutely be watching this one today. I will be looking to see if Microsoft starts to build some demand here around this 308, 309. If we start to see things set up here, if we start to see some curl, if we start to see some buying stepping in, right, at this 308, 309 zone, I'll see if I can play that retest entry. If we break back under 308, this plays over. I will no longer try to long Microsoft if we break back under 308. All right, if we get back under 308, then we are just back within this channel, and I have no interest here. So 308, 309, watching to see if we get a retest long entry here. Nice break of the channel. Good pullback. This is exactly what you want to see, right? I'd rather see this than see Microsoft up 5 points today and know that I missed the play. So this is exactly what you want. Look to see if you get that retest of this 308, 309. Meta, a little bit weak, right? Do we get this gap fill? I know a lot of people are sort of eyeing this gap fill. I've seen a lot of it. Makes me think that it might not be that easy, but we could be watching this. So I believe this 231.50 is important. Excuse me. This low right here, 231.50. However, right, what concerns me is we got under 231.50 on Friday, and it led to 230, which was very strong. So a little bit tricky, right? That is a little tricky, like Mon said right there. Definitely a little tricky here. I'm sort of feeling like Meta is going to probably pile in a lot of shorts here and potentially squeeze them here. I'm really not that comfortable being a short on Meta on this gap fill at the moment. I don't see it giving up intraday. It looks still like it's got some tricky price action. I'm not a really confident short on Meta. So I would be maybe a little bit more confident if I got a very clear break and hold below Friday's lows, right? If I get a very clear, one of these right here, and we start just rejecting Friday's lows, then yeah, right? Then I'd probably take a shot, right? If I see a break and hold below Friday's lows at 230 and I start to see that rejection set in, yeah, I'll probably take that shot. But until then, right? Until then, I am not interested in shorting into this Friday low, right, guys? There is no reason to start sweating, to start shorting Meta, being unsure, not sure what's going to happen here, right? I would be very careful playing in this zone right here. This looks very tricky. You can see the price action on Friday was messy, and then bam, it just explodes out of nowhere. So I would not be a short into this zone. If you get a nice break and hold below 230, then yeah, maybe there's something that sets up. But until then, I would be a little bit cautious here. As we speak, Meta is starting to get a little bit slippery too. A little slippery on Meta here. So don't let this sucker you in, right? Don't let this sucker you in yet. This is some nice downside as we speak, but careful letting this sucker you in. Watch this 230 low from Friday. Looks very strong. If that breaks and holds below, then yeah, maybe you get some continuation. All right? So 230 on Meta, big level to watch today. Could definitely set up some opportunities. What a flag break on Nvidia. And I ended up profitable on this play, but I did give back about 30% of my profits on Friday. I was sort of holding this. I was sort of scaling out as the days went on, and I did hold it into Friday where I sort of got squeezed out on, I think, 3 runners. So I gave back some profits on Friday, my Nvidia puts. I grabbed them really nicely off this 285 area. So I got some nice profits, gave back some here. But if we zoom out, right, look at this hourly flag. This was really, really nice. So here's your hourly chart, right? You can see previous highs here, right? 280s, previous lows right here, or sorry, previous highs right here. We got a break. We got a retest flag, right? That is just something I love to look for. That is the same thing that the ES did on the shorter term time frames, right? Actually, you know what? It looks a little bit better on the SPY, right? So look at the SPY. This is a bull flag, break and retest. And you guys know I play bear flag, break and retest. This is my favorite thing to trade, right? And so Meta, I think there was a bear flag retest somewhere. Hopefully I can find a good example. You guys have seen it in my videos, but I'll try to find an example here. We played this one on Nvidia. This was a bear flag retest, right here. Nice bear flag retest and then a rejection. So that SPY intraday move, right, from Friday was just a really nice bull flag break and retest. And so on Nvidia, if we zoom out, we go back to that hourly chart, right? This is just really a bull flag retest of the previous highs, break, retest, turn the previous highs into a new demand. That's 275, 273. Very strong hold on Thursday, and then big breakout of the flag. So today, right? Today, I can't help but feel like I missed this move. I missed it, right? This move is over for me. I am not going to long into this 290 rejection point. That's just not something that I am comfortable doing. So you got a weekly chart, major rejection here at 290, 289, 289.50. And if I start longing into this rejection point, I just don't feel comfortable holding that position, right? I want to be comfortable in my positions. I will succeed the most when I am very comfortable in the plays that I take. And to me, I just can't get comfortable trying to long Nvidia into this 290 level, right? We've seen major rejections here in the past, right here. We saw it back on that weekly chart. So I'm not really interested in longs on Nvidia here. What I want to see is most likely either a pullback to 280 for another flag, right? What if Nvidia creates another nice little bull flag here, right? Back into 280, right? And then a nice upside push once again. So that's the first area I'm watching, a pullback to 280 for potential long entries. That would be a retest of these highs, right? And a retest of these highs, right? That would be very nice. So a retest of 280 would be great. If I go down to the shorter term time frames, I can also look for this gorgeous setup that happened on Friday. Look at this. I mean, this is, I don't want to start using bad words, but this is just unbelievable. This is unbelievable. It's a perfect previous high. Look at that previous high from Wednesday, and look at this flag. Again, bull flag, break and retest, flag breakout, intraday on Nvidia. Where is that level? Why did Nvidia hold 284? Well, if you go back to the 30-minute, let's go back to the 15-minute, you can see this pretty damn clear, right? Wednesday's highs, Tuesday's rejections here, Tuesday rejections, Wednesday's highs right here, break, retest, flag, absolutely textbook, gorgeous stuff. No MACD, no RSI, no ChatGPT, no trade algos, right? Just a perfect break and retest of the previous highs. Awesome move. So today, 284 retests, right? For entries, 280 pullback for entries, right? If I don't get that, I'm not interested. All right. So those are the levels I'm watching today. 284, 280, 281. Watching for those pullbacks. AMD. So this is this is still, I don't want to keep on, stating this, but this is still setting up. This is still very interesting to me on AMD. Bull flag, hold. Bull flag, push. Flag, push, question mark, right? This is still very interesting on AMD. You held that 81 really well, right? You saw that strength come in on the semis. You can see this 81 hold, right? Right here, this previous high here, these previous lows here, right? Look at that hold at 81. Look at that hold. Someone was talking about RSI. Too many people at F1 were talking about the RSI. That's good, man. That's good. So 81, right? You can see that hold on AMD. Very, very interesting, right? Look at that push off 81. Now, 15-minute chart. Actually, you know what? 30. Nope. We need more time. 90-day 30. Perfect. Right there. Look at this, right? Very clear. Clear as day. You guys can see previous lows, previous highs, previous highs, previous major rejection on Thursday, major rejection on Thursday. Look at this Thursday rejection. 5-minute chart. Boom, bam, right? 91.50, nasty, very nasty, right? So you can see that. So are you long into this? No, we are not long into this, and we are not long into this. Who wants to be long into this and this? Yes, and AMD was nice on Friday. Yes, if you caught this move on Friday, great job. We are not long into 91.50, right? It doesn't make sense. So if we can get a hold above 91.50, if we can see this area turn into demand, right? If we see this and then we see this, then we can start to formulate that long entry for more upside. If we turn these highs into demand, these highs into demand, then we can look for that long entry. But it is not until then that we cannot chase into this supply. So watch 91.50 on AMD. That's what I'd be focused on today. 91.50, 92 on AMD. Very interesting. All right. Apple, I mean, what a boss. Just what a beast. Apple is, if you were to take from Friday's close, which is 173.57, let's just call it there. Apple's about 5% off all-time highs. Insane. Now, I mean, I'm a long-term shareholder of Apple. This is great for me. Do I have that much interest in longing Apple through these highs? No, I'll just hold my shares, right? This is what I love about holding shares. If you guys don't hold long-term shares, I recommend it. It's not financial advice, but I highly recommend it. Everything I bought during 2022 is up tremendously. Everything that I dip bought when everyone said this market was going to fall off, when everyone was screaming online about everything going to shit, is up fantastic, right? I'm up a lot. I'm up 30% of my long-term this year. I like to hold long-term shares on good stocks because when I see big moves on the market, I do not get FOMO as much as I would if I didn't hold shares. So for me on Apple, I don't have FOMO here because I know if Apple goes higher, I'm going to rake in a lot of money through shares. For trading, for trading in short-term positions, I really don't like Apple longs here. Short Apple's been a beast, but you are now trading into here. You're trading into all these rejections here, trading into some heavy action over here. I really don't see the desire to continue to look for longs on Apple. Now, it was very strong on earnings, right? Very nice continuation. Big gap up. I just don't really have interest up here, right? I do not have interest up here around 176. Where I have a little bit more interest on a short-term trade is a retest of this 170.50, 170 area, right? Right here, right here, right here, right here, right? All this. If we get a pullback to this 170, 170.50, that would be where I'd be more interested in the long setup, right? So I need a retest. I'm not going to trade a breakout and just hope for more upside, right? I want to see a retest back to this 170, 170.50. I'm actually going to put an alert there. Create alert at or below, let's call it 170.55. So I'm going to put an alert right there. If Apple gets back into the zone, ding, right, on my TOS. Until then, not interested. Patience. Patience. Trading is what? 90% patience, 95% patience, whatever percent you would put on it. It's above 90%. Patience, right? If Apple comes back here, whenever it does, because it will, there will be a time in the future that it does, right? Then we look for that high quality setup. Until then, we leave it alone. We don't chase this upside. We wait for that pullback to set up. And then we watch this 170.50, right? Very nice. Watch that. TSM. So I want to point this out because I think this is a very interesting setup. I am very interested in taking long position here. I'm not doing it yet. Market just doesn't seem right. I'm not going to long into that Nasdaq high. But this is very interesting on TSM. You have a previous high here. This is the weekly chart, right? Previous weekly chart high right here. Breakout. What are we doing? Flag retest, right? Little flag retest on the weekly chart. You're flagging to the downside, back into the previous high of this 82, 82.50, 83 area, right? If we go to the hourly chart, we can see we had a nice double bottom form here on TSM at this 83 level. On top of that, if we go to the daily SMA and we add the 200 SMA, it is literally right below on TSM right here. 200 SMA, 200 SMA. So it's intriguing, right? It's intriguing. You have a previous high here, a big break, a retest, 200 SMA hold, and you're starting to curl off that 83. If there's any strength in semiconductors, if we get some strength in the semiconductor sector, I do not mind looking for TSM to move higher off this level. So I'm going to watch this off 83 on TSM. All right. I know some people wanted to look at SHOP today, so I'm going to go ahead and look at SHOP. If you guys could take 1 second, we got 1,700 people here and we have 400 likes. Ouch. On a Monday morning. Can we get some love on a Monday morning? Can we get some love on a Monday morning? I'll wait. Let's see. Right now it is 8:49 and 37 seconds. I will wait until 8:50. 20 seconds. Can we get some likes? I'm going to take a sip of water. Press the like button twice. Get them out. Get them out. Just kidding. 50K. But get them out. All right. Let's run over shop. Guys, I don't look at questions in the chat. I'm sorry. I try to get through everything I can here to provide, educational content. If, I'm going to try to get through more questions in this live stream, but we're at a time limit, and I try to get through as much as I can. I am sorry if I don't answer your questions. There's other places to reach out to me for questions, but, I try to look at as much as I can. But if I'm, trying to get through these charts, it's already 8:50, right? So it's a little hard to get through all these questions. I'm sorry about that. This is probably not the best place to ask me a question. In my Discord, it's probably better. I get back to DMs if you want to email me, right? Probably better. Email is going to take a little bit because I get a lot of those too, but I try my best. All right, shop. I wouldn't be long until a pullback of 54 personally. I think you need a retest of these highs right here. This is a really big breakout, but I would like to see a pullback here to like this 55, 54 area. Hard to chase this one, guys. Hard to chase this one. Real hard. Real hard, right? I would say maybe you can get a move into that 70, but you need a pullback, right? No question about it. So I would want to see a pullback either to that 55, 54 or to this high right here, this 59.60 area, right? So you need a retest. I would say you could probably look for this retest here of Thursday's highs, right here. So if we go to the 15-minute, yeah, that's what I'd look for on the short term. I'd look for a retest of these Thursday's highs and see if that turns into a new demand right here. All right. Let's get over the Nasdaq ES real quick before we head out. Nasdaq sort of slipping off that 13,350. There should be absolutely no surprise if the market slips off this level. If someone comes tomorrow and says, what the hell happened to the market? I know you're not paying attention, right? I know you're not paying attention because you are very clearly at supply today. Doesn't mean the market can't break supply. But if you do break down today off this supply, it is very apparent why, right? You know this 13,350 supply is there. Pay attention to that. I would look for pullback entries here. I would still be interested in pullback entries off this 13,280 and 13,240. If we do break down, though, I would not be shocked in any sense, right? There's no reason to be shocked here. That's a major supply up here at 13,350. So open to both possibilities. Watch 13,280, very possible demand hold. Watch 13,240, very possible demand hold. And if we fall under 13,240 once again, I think there's more downside off that 13,350. ES, right, 4160. You guys can see we talked about that level. You're starting to see that rejection set in. Do not long into 4160 today. Wait for confirmation above for upside. If you get a hold above 4160, maybe there's some more upside there. And if you get a hold above 414, right, then you have some potential upside. You need a hold over 414 to get confident on the upside. All right? All right, guys. Have a fantastic day. It's Monday. Do well today. Be smart. You don't need to start tapping buttons at 9:30 on a Monday morning. I say this to the chat every day. You don't need to get into a trade within 30 seconds of the new week, right? Take it easy. Take it slow. Let the market show you some stuff. Let the market trade around a little bit. Read some levels. Read some price action. Get comfortable with the new price action of the week. You don't need to start tapping away right at market open, right? That's what I try my best to do. Sometimes, right, it still takes me over. Sometimes I get in trades a little too early. It's going to happen, right? That's going to continue to happen as you trade. It's never going to go away. But it is our job as a trader to restrict ourselves from doing these things as best as we can, right? That is 90% of what trading is, right? We have to be able to control ourselves. It's a battle against ourselves at the end of the day. Control your fingers, control your emotions, control your FOMO, right? Watch these levels, trade off the levels, wait for them to give you confirmation. You don't need to start trading right away. Even if it takes you 30 minutes to find a trade, an hour, or you don't even trade today. It's not a big deal, right? So watch the levels we talked about today. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. I will see you guys back here tomorrow like we do every single morning. Press that like button before you head out. Subscribe if you're new here. And that is about it. Thank you guys so much. I don't even have anyone to go Knicks, I guess. I guess that's it, right? Just go Knicks. That's all I got left. Go Knicks and go Max. All right, guys. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Bye.